Today I have the privilege of speaking with a filmmaker, James Cullen Bressack. He has a new action flick, which is a lot of fun, Survive the Game. Thank you for joining me today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for watching the movie.
Yeah, it's really just that, that classic cat and mouse action flick that is so satisfying sometimes to enjoy. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so Survive the Game is a nonstop cat and mouse action movie. I mean, like the movie is nonstop action from beginning to end. We got massive long fight scenes, like people going through doors and windows and tables and jumping out of buildings, a lot of shootouts. And we have some great fights, some great car chases, and some explosions along the way. A lot of killing.
Yeah. So yesterday I had actually the privilege of talking to your production designer, Peter Cordova. He was great on giving me some insight.
Oh, cool.
And
I love Pete. Did Pete tell you that we used to prank call him all the time?
No, he did not mention that.
So while we were making the movie, we thought it was funny because there's this website where you could have like pre-recorded prank calls. So it would like call you and be like, did you like crash into my car or like whatever? And so like we like me and Brian, the DP, like during pre-production, Pete would be talking to us and we'd just like kind of send through like a prank call. And we'd be like, yeah, what's up, Pete? And his phone would ring. We're like, are you gonna answer that, Pete? He'd be like, yeah. Well, 1 second, it might be important. And he'd go and answer it and be like one of those prank calls. I'm like, God damn it.
Oh, no. How long before he caught on?
I think he caught on quicker than he let us know because we found it so funny that he just kept it going. But yeah, no, I've known Pete for a long time. Pete did production design on my movie Pernicious, which I directed when I was 21 years old.
Wow.
In Thailand. So I've known Pete a long time. Pete's a good guy, man. That guy's hilarious.
You know, he did mention that to me about you guys working overseas.
Yeah, man, I like that guy. He's a hard worker, man.
So part of it being nonstop action, I believe that it was nonstop shooting too, because you guys had a very tight shooting schedule. Peter said that they called him on a Friday and he was on the plane and working on Monday.
I mean, he means working pre-production. We had prep. We weren't on set like 2 days after getting the call. But yeah, I mean, it was fast and furious. It was nonstop. It was a lot of action, and I'm like a coverage monster. I want a lot of coverage for action sequences. So definitely we had to work really hard to get that. So it's the camera was moving around a lot, and that's what makes those fight scenes so cutty. I'm definitely very grateful for the hard work of all the amazing crew that was involved.
Was it a help also to have Bruce Willis on set for the time that you had him?
Yeah, Bruce is great, man. Bruce really brings like some gravitas to an action movie, and he's funny, man. He's able to throw in like a lot of really great ad libs. That line he says in the movie that made it into the trailer where he's like, I got shot today and I'm tied up. You still hit like a bitch. Like that is full on Bruce. He made that up. And it's just like, it was cracking us up on set because it's just like, he was just supposed to say something like, okay. And he gave that line. And I was like, all right, well, that's pretty badass, Bruce. Like, he's cool. He's a cool guy.
Tell me about Swen and Chad. There's some of your
dude, I could not have asked for two of the nicer people to be like my everyday leads. I mean, like, Sven Temmel is like a team player. That guy just like runs through the gamut. Like he was like my little like Rambo on that movie. He's running through the jungle, like choking people out, hanging people. Like he was and he was down for everything, man. Sven is awesome. He's a team player. I love that guy. He's super cool. And Chad, I mean, Chad is also one of the nicest human beings. Like he's a family man. His wife and daughter in the movie in that flashback sequence is his real life wife and daughter, Sarah. He's just Chad's just like really, he cares about the work and he goes above and beyond to try and realize the director's vision. I couldn't be more grateful for the awesome people I got to work with.
I think one of the things I found impressive also is that you guys had that one singular farm location where you guys did everything you need to, built whatever you need to, and then use the existing facilities as well. Talk about that.
Yeah, man. So that was part of like the one thing that I was like, we kind of reshaped the script to fit the whole location. because I just like kind of like mapped it out in quadrants in my mind, and I was like, okay, so we moved to this, and I kind of had a little bit of fun with the geography to remap where certain things were to try and like expand it a little more, which I think we do a good job of cheating with camera angles to kind of hide that some stuff was closer to things than you would think. But I that drone shot in the beginning of the movie, like that's a real drone shot, so you can really see, like that's not stock or anything. You can really see what the expansiveness of how like the jungle is surrounding that farm on the top of that mountain.
Wow, fantastic. So I think one of the things I wanted to ask you was about the screenplay, that it's Ross Peacock's debut, I believe.
Yeah, Ross, man, Ross did an awesome job. He's a really supportive guy. He's hit me up. I've never met him, but he's hit me up on like Instagram and Twitter, and we've gone back and forth about stuff. And he's really cool. I like his YouTube channel. Like he's a good guy, man.
I've found that really strange sometimes in interviewing people. Sometimes when I have grouped, is that they've never met, but they work together on films.
Yeah, we probably would have met, but like he's over, I think, in the UK, and I'm over here, and we're in a pandemic. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of what caused the separation. But he's been really supportive of pushing the movie, and I'm really excited for him to see what we did with it. He came up with an awesome story and created some really good characters, and the actors like and myself kind of like ran wild with what he had, and just had a lot of fun. I think we made something really fun and unique, and I think when reading the script I really got the vibe of like the throwback movie, and so like I kind of enhanced upon that in the style of filmmaking to try and make it really feel like a throwback, like 90s Joel Silver action movie, and just to have fun with it and have like as much throw in more comedy and have it just be as fun as possible.
When you go from screenplay to actual shooting, what is your process in kind of taking in that information, maybe storyboards, and then, because I mean, when you do an action sequence,
yeah, so I storyboarded all of the car chases. I storyboarded a lot of the action sequences, and I have a shot list for everything that I do in the movie. But as like Mike Tyson said, like everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. You know what I mean? So you got to still also have like your A plan, B plan, C plan. Like if I grab one of my scripts, I can show you. Give me a second, but my scripts that I have for any of my movies have color-coded notes. I have color-coded notes for like shot lists, and then color-coded notes literally for every single page, of the script on like what I want to do. I prep the whole thing, intensely to come up with my A plan, B plan, C plan, and what happens if I fall behind, or yada, yada, yada. Right. And so that's kind of what I go for when I'm making the movie. But, the way I look at a script is it's like a blueprint, it's a blueprint for a house. Right. So like you have the bones, you have the structure of that house from the script, but you and the actors and the production designer then get to choose, okay, well, what goes on the walls of the house? What is it? How's the house painted? Like, all that stuff. So you take that and you build upon it. You're not going to change the structure, but you're going to change like, okay, well, nobody says what the wall is, so let's change the wall. Let's do like, so I kind of build everything from there.
That's how it's, I mean, you're very talented to be able to do that. I saw the little post-it notes on the top and bottom.
Yeah, I was trying to show you, like, just to give you a visual so you understand. Like it's like I every single page of that script is like, I've come up for every scenario just in case. Like there's the like you're on time scenario, there's the 20 minutes behind scenario, there's the hour-long behind scenario, and that's just kind of what I try to do.
Anytime I watch an action film, I always like to ask about the stunt team because they're awesome. Tell me about your stunt team for the movie.
So Raul, who was our stunt coordinator, amazing dude, super hard worker. That guy, put together some of the coolest fight scenes. I kept showing him like all the fight scenes from like movies I really liked, like The Raid and all this stuff. I was like, I want to do this stuff. And he's like so game for it. So he put together stuff. Jonathan and Monica and Leo, who were our main doubles of people. I mean, those are they're badasses, man. Like they really could fight. They threw themselves through the ringer for this movie. I could not be more grateful. They really moved and made this like awesome. Those fight sequences, you know, starting with the one in the kitchen and the one in the barn, like those are some crazy fights. You know, and I'm very grateful for what they were able to do. And you know, they're jumping off of buildings, crashing cars, chasing each other. Like, you know, they really went for it, and I'm very appreciative.
Were there a lot of reshoots that you had to do, or do the stunts multiple times sometimes, or were you guys pretty good at catching?
They kicked ass. They kicked
Good.
ass. You know what I mean? They kicked ass. I don't think we would have had the budget to do the car crash and explosion more than once, but but we nailed it.
How tough was it to shoot those car chases? Because I know that you guys had to shoot them in literally around the same location.
Yeah, man, it was not easy. It was not easy, but I think you know, we made it look awesome. You know, it's you know, I think we stretched those out and made it, you know, they're I think they're fun. We got some cool angles and you know, it's just time consuming. It takes a lot of time, and luckily we had storyboards to work off of and an amazing stunt crew to help us.
I believe every job, every experience we go through is an opportunity to learn. So I like to ask the question, what was your biggest takeaway from working on this film?
Oh man, I learned so much on every movie that I do. You know, it's like, you know, I started off at a very young age. My first feature was at 18 years old. And you know, I learn every time I do a movie, I learn a little bit more each time. So I feel like, you know, I'm currently still going through film school, like by learning, because I didn't go to film school in general, because I learned so much every time. And you know, the one thing I really learned the most on this one was how to maximize my time in because there was just so much to do every single day. So I learned how to maximize my time as much as possible.
Awesome. James, I appreciate your time. So Survive the Game, theaters, Apple TV, and everywhere you can rent movies, October 8th. And correct me if I'm wrong, Blu-ray, DVD, October 7th, 12th.
12th, yeah, 12th.
Thank
you so much. Hey, thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you for watching the movie. Thank you for the kind words.
Yeah, I mean, every now and then we just need that kind of classic action film, and you have everything you need in it. So a nonstop action. I wish I could wish you luck with your Yankees, but I cannot.
Oh, don't tell me you're a Red Sox fan.
I'm not actually. I'm a Giants fan, but
okay. Well, that's fine. That's
close
fine.
enough.
Be a Giants fan. Yeah, that's fine. I'll forgive you.
Some of the best last September baseball I've seen in a while. So.
Man, I thought you were cool. I thought you were cool.
Well, at least you're not wearing an LA hat. That would have been, you know, we may have had to.
Dude, I got Yankees right here, man.
Hey, man, hey, whatever your fandom is, support.
All right.
All right, thanks, James. It was really nice to meet you.
Hey, it was great to meet you too, man. Thank you so much.
All right, take care.
All right, bye.